Hello and welcome to Learning from Lauren. Today we are going to talk about how much you can charge for fees, talking more about fees as a travel agent to better help you. So if you don't know, my name is Lauren. I am a travel agent and I help other travel agents become travel agents. I, for years, thought I could become a travel agent, or for years, I thought I could not become a travel agent. And then I just decided one day that I was going to do it. And I realized it's very hard to start, very hard to get good information from people. And everyone's so close guarded, like this. There's some secret formula here. But really, if you listen to this channel or follow me on social media, I'm just trying to help you out, guys. There is a lot of information out there, but it takes a long time to get through. So I do have a course if that will make your life easier, if you want to get to becoming a travel agent faster, and if you need some extra support, because there are some things that travel agents do not get no matter who they work with. So let's get into talking about fees today. So, when we talk about fees as travel agents, this sometimes can be a polarizing topic. And I've done other videos about fees before, but the first thing you need to decide is, are you going to charge fees or not charge fees? And those fees can look different. So, what you might do is when someone comes to you and says, "Hi, I'd like to book a trip with you and do this." A lot of people think like, okay, we'll just email back and forth until we get the information we have. Anytime I have emailed back and forth with people before to try and do a quote, it always takes me a ridiculously long time because they say, I just want to know the price if I book this room. And then they come back with like 20 other things like, oh, can you tell me what like every room on that cruise is, like all the different kinds? And then can you tell me, send me pictures of each room? And can you also tell me, if I took this cruise this week or this cruise that week, what would the price difference be? And can you tell me about all the excursions on these cruises? And it's like, you just asked me for a price quote. You still haven't booked. So this emailing back and forth isn't going to get you very far, first of all. But how I do it is if someone contacts me, there is a form that I have them fill out where at the end it has them click that says, yes, I understand that there is a fee to work with Lauren. So before I even get to a meeting with these people, they know there is a fee to work with me. And that does make a huge difference because you don't want to keep going through all these calls and being like, oh, I didn't know that I was going to have to pay a fee to work with you. Because there are people out there that just want to book a trip, don't care who it's with. They are just trying to get some deal or something like that. And that is the kind of people that you're trying to weed out. You're trying to get the people who are serious about booking, who really want to work with you. So, what sets me apart is I set a fee, but I have a very structured way of teaching people how about their destination, getting them ready for their destination and their final itinerary. So that's what's different about me. I have it so that it's set up very differently than a lot of other travel agents. I specialize in Disney. And because that's my specialization, there's tons of Disney travel agents out there. So what sets me apart is I break down information into manageable parts over time and I personalize your experience based on our conversations. So there are some things that I send to everyone, all my clients, but there's a lot of things that I personalize to what the clients want based on rides, things like that. So those are things you want to think about. What is making you special or what's making you stand out from other agents that you're charging this fee for? And then the price. The price of what you're going to charge on a fee can range. So I know a lot of agents, when they first start out, they just charge $50 a fee. That's a very, like, I'm a new agent. I'm nervous about charging fees. I don't know if I can do it. And what I always say is then you would really want to start at $50. And I say this, you can even start at $10. You figure out what you think is something that you can live with that you want. So a lot of times I say like $50 because then people are serious They're giving you $50, so they're not just going to give you $50 and then not expect anything. But if they're paying you the $50, then they know, okay, you're serious, I'm serious. Now I can spend time working on building a plan or an itinerary for you for this trip. And then the goal after that is once you have finalized an itinerary, then you are putting deposits down on all that information. So then you have that booked. So it looks like they reach out to me, they fill out my form, we set up a call. In that call, we go over what are the things that they want, things that they ask for. After that call, um, at the end of that call, I tell them, this is a fee service business. So I will send you over my contract and my service fee. Once those are signed and paid for, then I will start working on your itinerary. I normally say within a week after I receive that back, that I will give them an itinerary so that they have some sort of quote to go off of. Now, if you are going to charge a fee, I will tell you that you can't just quote and be like, for that cruise, it's going to be $2,000. Can't just do that. It needs to have some meat to it. You need to have it professionally done. You can't just write it in an email. It should be in some sort of PDF, video, or I use Travify. It's a special system for travel agents, and you can use that to build itineraries on and share them with clients. So those are all options that you have when you are working on that. When you're talking about how much to charge, this can range person to person, but I would always say to at least start off at $50. You are definitely worth more than $50, but if that's where you feel comfortable, start at $50. Yes, there are other agents that don't charge fees, but they work so much harder. They take on every client there is. You don't want every client. You want clients that are I don't want to say that are going to be easy, but that appreciate what you do. I just got off a client call right now where the client had a question about their trip and I called them and they were like, no other travel agent has ever called me. They always just email me back and I just need to talk to you more. So I am calling people back. I am calling them on the phone. Yes, sometimes a 5-minute conversation saves you email after email in response. So that makes a huge difference. So when you're thinking about charging a fee, if you're thinking like, okay, if you want to include phone calls, then my fee is going to be this much. If you just want to do just email, then this is my fee. So you might stack your fees in different ways. So maybe if you want to include phone calls, maybe it's $100. Maybe if they need multiple assistance on multiple things, maybe what you need to do is have a higher fee. Like we will have 3 video calls before your trip. This is, this is the first one. Once we have your itinerary, or to go over your itinerary, we will, that will be one of them. Halfway to your trip, we will meet again to talk about any questions you have. And then maybe about a month or 2 before you travel, we will do another video. So maybe you have different service package options that people can choose from. So like $50 will get you an itinerary, and a basic package would include, they reach out to you through email only. Then your next package up is $100, and that includes access to phone calls with you and emails before your trip. And then the third one is, 3 half-an-hour visits on the video call in order to go over trips, make sure they understand things, whatever that is. And that's $200. So you can do a plan like that. There are some agents, and what they do is they charge a fee. So let's say they charge a fee and it's like $200. And as long as that person travels on their trip, when it comes to final payment, they apply that $200 to that trip. If they cancel or adjust the dates or times, that $200 goes towards the agent. What I will say with that is that gets super complicated, and depending on which state you work in, that might not even be an option. You also will have to have a separate bank account that you do not touch that money in. You also have to claim the interest. Like there's a lot of things that goes on with that when you are holding on to money from clients. So I don't do that. I don't recommend that unless you have super good bookkeeping skills about that, because you are actually applying payments then to your client's final payment. That gets a little wonky sometimes. Sometimes you are not allowed to do that. Um, for some people, they don't actually like that. There were a lot of agencies that what they used to do is they used to charge people the full amount of their vacation, and then the agency would pay your balance. So the agency would basically be collecting your money and holding on to it. And then when it was time to pay final payment, they would pay it through the agency's own bank account. You do not want to do that. Okay. That is a huge red flag for an agency. So that's why some people don't like those fees. There was a huge company that went out of business, I think in 2019 in the UK, that worked on that type of system. And it was horrible. And people lost lots of money, and they lost their trips. So holding on to clients' money is not the best way to collect fees, in my opinion. You are welcome to do whatever you want and whatever makes you feel comfortable. But please understand, if there is an exchange of money, you need to make sure that there's a contract. You need to have it spelled out exactly what is going to happen, terms and conditions. This is non-refundable. That's the big thing. It's non-refundable. If they cancel their trip, they don't get your money back because you have done the work. The money is going towards you planning their trip. So if they pay the service fee and then you make an itinerary for them and they choose not to book it, that money was going towards building that itinerary. So you don't need to worry about that. Them actually traveling on the trip and going on the trip, you are getting paid in commission based on those people that you are booking through. So like if you booked through Disney and you got the commission through Disney, that's what you would get for payment for booking that trip and helping them go to Disney World. I hope that makes sense. So that should hopefully help you. Now, I know people are going to say, like, what's the highest I can make in a service fee? You can make it whatever you want. I always suggest the low end is $50. I would say the high end is $500. Happy mediums are $250 to $300. I would say a lot of the people that I know that charge a fee are between $250 and $300. I also kind of vary. I am between $200 and $300 depending on the trip. If I was going to do a group, I might do it per person or per room, depending on what kind of group it's going to be. And that is more for you're paying me to get everyone all together. And we call it herding wet cats, and trying to get everyone on the same page. So you're basically paying me to organize your group for you. So it kind of depends on what you're looking for. But I would say if you are building a whole trip on your own, we call that FIT, and you're picking out their hotel and their daily restaurants and their daily excursions and things like that. If you are doing that, you need to be charging a service fee, and it should be around the $300 mark or more, because that's a lot of work, and you're doing a lot for people on that. The other thing I will say, which I've said in other videos, but hey, you can repeat as many times as you want. Flights. If you are booking flights, domestic flights, you cannot add on a service fee for that. So you should be charging per person, per ticket. The industry standard is pretty much $10 to $25 per person or per ticket. If you are doing international, sometimes you can add on a service fee as you are doing it. Sometimes you have the option if you are doing it through a specific service. Not every agency has options for that in a flight bank like that. So just make sure that you look at that also. But big thing, contract. Make sure there's a contract or terms and conditions, however you want to say it. But have that terms and conditions for the fee and collect that money. And I would say collect it and keep it for yourselves. Obviously, it's on you if they come back to you and ask for a return. You have to work out. It's your business. You run it how you want. Is it worth it to keep the money or not? That's all on you. So maybe I'll do another video about, when to return a service fee or things like that. So, all right, that will do it for today's show. Again, I have some free resources in the bottom. Please follow along, subscribe, hit that bell notification if you are interested. And if you are really serious about becoming a travel agent and you don't know where to start, please check out my course. It fast tracks you so that you don't make all the mistakes I do, because I am a teacher. So I know the mistakes I made and I can point them out all the time to you. And this will help you to become a travel agent so much faster. So, all right, have a good week and I will talk to you soon.